first thing is to get more germplasm. To do that, you have to know what germplasm to focus on. So you have to learn more about bananas worldwide. And you should go to other banana breeding programs and meet all the banana breeders and talk things over as person to person rather than institute to institute. As long as it's institute to institute, you won't make any progress. In my opinion, if there are perfect bananas for a large number of people with a long-term cultural habit, such as plantains, then the main focus should be on GMO. Because their problems are not, first of all, the end result of a breeding program is an acceptable banana that is desired by people who wish to buy it and eat it. And plantains will be very, very hard to modify in such a way that you can get something that will be equally acceptable. Now, in the past here, they used mainly one parent that I would, in my breeding program in Sumatra, I never use it because I don't think it's any good. Yet 80% of all the crosses were made with that only over the years, or something like that. So then you say, well, why did they use that one? Well, they didn't have anything else that had lots of pollen. They never went out there to get something good that had lots of pollen. So you could easily put in, I think, nematode resistance into plantains and maybe black sigatoka. But that is not going to help plantains very much because genetically they do not produce a good root system. So you have to then say, well, you know, how do we get a good root system? Not just resistance to these pathogens. And that's another matter altogether. And that will take a lot of careful thinking and a lot of understanding of how bananas grow in different parts of the world and what the diversity of root system toughness and capability is. Your bananas, your plantains growing at IITA right now have almost no root systems whatsoever. They can hardly produce anything. They can only produce when they're grown by smallholders on the garbage heaps around their houses, where the poor root system can get enough nutrients. That works. And that's from time immemorial what local people have done. The biosafety issues are greatly increased by people who don't understand it, and by greenies and that kind of thing, so that I think those things will fade with time. They already have faded in America. The Europeans are the biggest culprits in this because they are very narrow-minded about that. And they have a very strong lobby of wanting things to be the way God made them. Well, God didn't make them. People have been breeding European crops for thousands of years. So they are constantly altering in primitive times by mass selection of the land races and now by modern breeding. To put in a gene for resistance to something that will lessen pesticide use is an intelligent way to go. Now bananas, commercial bananas receive more pesticides than any other crop. Commercial bananas. Now you have greenies in Europe saying, oh no, we can't have GMO bananas. Well, how about having a GMO banana so you can reduce all the pesticides you eat?
Where do you
But the other problem is this in relation to biotech. Biotech has had one big detriment, and that is that all the money people think that they can revolutionize agriculture with biotech. So all the training is going into biotech, so that the young people are not trained to understand plants, soils, nutrition, and all of the classical scientists, and there's no money for graduate students to work. So in effect, the tail is wagging the dog. The tail is biotech. The dog is struggling to exist as a whole animal, and he is being gradually eliminated by the tail.